What's up guys, Chartsmith here, back again with a new video, daily update once again. We've been on a streak, we are holding up. I like to start at a higher time frame, you know that now. What is relevant here? There are a few points that are relevant here. Yesterday I said we can expect more upside. Well, we got more upside. It we'll say. Let me see, where's yesterday? This is yesterday. We pumped up from London until New York yesterday. Then New York, when New York started, we came into this. Yeah, what was it at the time? It was just an end dog, but it's a relevant point to put in a chart because it can be used as rejection. Well, as you see, it got rejected really nicely. I want to get into this on the lower time frame in a bit as well. Well, then we dumped down a lot, putting in a higher low on the higher time frame, of course. The market can just be pushing up in one move. It has to cool off for a moment. So that is what it did right here. Put in a higher low. Probably it isn't confirmed that we're gonna trade above this high again. But until now it's probably gonna be our higher low because on the higher time frame we're still up. With this down move we also just liquidated our internal liquidity. There's not really much below this anymore until here, and that is gonna be this low. It's not really a session low, as you okay, it doesn't matter. It is a low that brought you over this high, so it's a really relevant low. So that was the next liquidity point. Of course, if the market wants to go to this, it can, or it will do it, but this was all your extreme liquidity that was the closest to this high, so a nice point to put in a higher low. It is also in correlation with this breaker block over here. You can see it pretty nicely on the 4 hour, 8 hour. It doesn't really matter, it's just a nice breaker block that we tested back, and we also tapped into this 12-hour gap we left behind. And breaker block if you want to refine it, but so that is that. Yeah, not really more interesting things to see here. Price doing what price needs to do. PM pumped up yesterday after taking out that liquidity and tapping into the breaker block. From there on we've been pumping up, and right now the market is cooling down a bit, building up some liquidity for itself to take out, taking out some liquidity on the lows as well. But I first want to get in before we're gonna go into that point of price action. I want to get into this. Let me quickly hide this so it's not in our way. Like this. Oh, let me do it in a different way. Let's make a group and then hide it so we don't lose it. Okay. I wanted to get into this because when this all happened I was in the gym. Most of the times I'm just gonna go to the gym if the macros before New York aren't interesting. I'm at the gym. So I was back right after this happened here. We tapped into this this zone. We also had a big SMT with this lunch high. It's a pretty sick high because it brought you towards this low. Then locally we had some SMTs as well because ES was just a bit more bearish overall than NQ. I'll have to zoom in a bit more. As you can see right here, when we made this SMT, a lot of people started selling. So a lot of buying orders are here, of course, because it's stop losses of the people that started selling. But there are a lot of people that started selling here. The smarter people are gonna wait for some kind of manipulation. What did we do here? All the people that started selling here have to buy back their positions more expensive over here. So that's a nice manipulation. But for this to be really clear, we have to zoom in a bit more. We take out that high here from all the people that started selling early. As you can see, a lot of selling power got into the market. Also New York, of course. But a lot of people started selling in this whole move. So again, if price is gonna push above here, the people that started selling here and didn't take profit at this low and were gonna get greedy and target this liquidity here, have to buy back the positions more expensive when price gets above the high again. What does it do? Dumps down, lures in a lot more sellers over here as well because you're gonna break below some lows. Takes it out. This is the manipulation I will be waiting for, because it's really clear that really a lot of people started selling here. You had another big SMT on the highs, and then you just want to be aggressive. On the 30-second, this was a break of structure as well, and you had this really nice break towards the downside. You have an invalidation point. You have an entry point over here. If you wanted to be a bit more safe and wait for the market to show you, okay, the market's gonna leave open the high, I'm gonna be more patient. You also had this 3-minute fair value gap that you could use. As you can see, price held this gap. From this gap it tried to make a new high. It couldn't make a new high, then it inversed the gap. You can just put in your order here. Most of the times with higher time frame gaps I put it in the middle. In this case it would have get tested back, but New York, you have to be safe. It's aggressive, but put it in here. Stop loss above the high, and your first target would be this, and then you can target this. And if you have to, if you want to leave some things running, you of course can let it go all the way to here, to here. There were a lot of liquidity points to take out, but for this to be safe, 2.5 risk to reward, pretty clean trade, really easy, not too difficult. But what did I do after we took out this liquidity yesterday? I thought, okay, maybe the market wants to switch up again, because we're really bullish overall. Yes, we have big SMTs on the highs, but it doesn't really matter if we're bullish overall. So I was looking for a long entry here, because you had taken out a pretty nice liquidity point. You also had a really big SMT with ES. Let me see where that was again, because I don't really remember. How late was this? 5 o'clock. Yes, took out a really nice low. That is why I put in my order as well. I think it's this one. Yeah, yes, took out pretty much all its extreme liquidity over here. As you can see, it took out this low. So we had an SMT over here. ES took out all its extreme liquidity from this up move. The next liquidity point would be here. That was also a trigger. Big SMT on the lows. ES not really anything more to take out over here. You on the NQ chart, you took out this. The next liquidity points will be here and here. So I thought, okay, maybe this can be a place that the market is gonna switch up again. What did I see more? You can see after that liquidity hunt and making the SMT, a lot of people started buying. They got stopped out. You had this gap that was tested the whole time really nicely. It was held with macro precision, as we like to call it. Well, these people started buying. It isn't the cleanest as well. This is what I got trapped into as well. It's not as clean as you can see over here. It is really on a small scale, but a lot of people started buying. They get stepped out. Then it was really on the market here, because you tested this gap, tried to make a new low. We couldn't make a new low. If we inversed it here, pretty nice trade. I would play it every day of the week. We didn't. Once again, took out the low. The trade isn't gone here because you manipulated once more. If we're gonna inverse this gap, we also have a high to gain over here. So you have an internal break of structure. Then maybe price can push up to at least here. That would have been my first target as well. So yeah, that was my trigger for taking this long. You manipulated nicely, lured in some buys, took out the buys, SMT, all nice liquidity taken out on both charts. Put in order, front run. First I got front run. Oh no, I didn't. I put my stop loss over here, because this wouldn't have been interesting risk to reward wise. So I want to put my stop loss below old liquidity. I talked about it in a video yesterday or the day before. Old liquidity is gonna get respected. The market is or either gonna test it back or just gonna leave it open. So that was the reason why I put my stop loss there. I've done it multiple times, worked multiple times, so that's why I used it. First front ran, you gained the high, but after the gain and taking out this liquidity here and sweeping this internal high here as well, yeah, the price just did what it always wanted to do, take out more lows, and the stop loss was hit pretty much right after the bar got hit. So it wasn't the cleanest local schematic as well. Also on the higher time frame, it was not really that we were in a nice PY zone or pivot point or whatever you want to call it to look for longs. It was not really any higher time frame PD array we were in that we could use or whatever. So that was also a thing. Well, not the cleanest trade, but you can't trade perfectly every day. Then right now, let's do this. I want to talk about what happened today and yesterday night as you. As I said, PM pumped up. We put in a nice higher low, made a higher high. Once again, higher low and a higher high. What happens here? A lot of people, as you can see in my chart, are gonna start buying in these moves because it's really clear that the price is gonna go up. People put their stop losses. These people probably have cashed nice money here because they took out some liquidity. They're the really early buyers. Probably some big guys stepped in here as well because it gets protected later on. But we'll get into that in a minute. Then the second wave of buyers, mostly retail, probably started buying in this whole move. Then in the rest of Asia, pretty rangy. Then after you broke out of this range, starting to go towards the downside a bit more. There you can see over here, also in the volume, more volume, all the people that started buying here had to sell back their positions more expensive over here. So that created a lot of buying opportunity for people that have to put in a lot of money. So in this range, big money can step into the market because a lot of people have to sell back their positions to the market. As I said, if big people stepped in here in this early move, then they're gonna protect this low, and as you see they did. SFT with ES once again. What you also did is create a lot of liquidity over here because you started leaving open the high, taking the lows. So a lot of people are going to be selling here, once more here. A lot of people are going to start selling. So a lot of stop losses have been collected here as well. So that is a liquidity target for the market and the people that started buying here. What did we do? People took profit on this high, grinded down slowly, put in a higher low. For me, if you're gonna leave open this low, then I'm looking towards rotation of this high because once again a lot of liquidity has been collected here. What did the market do? Put in a higher low here. Once again, people are gonna start buying in this move. What happens? Move gets taken out. They have to sell back their position more expensive to the market once again. So big money can step in, protect their positions, and the rotation to this high is pretty likely then. Well, put in the order got front ran and it pumped up to here. Once again, simple 2.6 risk to reward, can leave something running of course, but most of the position would have been cashed over there. Once again, some knowledge. Let's finalize our plan for today and skip this song because I don't like it. Let's finalize our plan for today. probably gonna put in a new higher low here, and maybe today we can trade above the high again. If we don't, maybe it's gonna be a bit of a rangy day, doesn't matter. I'm just gonna react to what the market gives us. For the higher time frame to get bullish again, we have to break above this high. You can say this high. We have to break above this high, because as you can see here, your structure on the 30 minutes, that is your highest time frame, most valid structure in this up move, is this low. You broke below this low. So if you want to get really bullish again today, you will have to break above the high, then you invalidate this internal lower low, and otherwise we can put in a lower high and make a new lower low. Then you would have to think to yourself, is this really likely? What is there to take out for the market? Of course, we still have these points, but if the smart money stepped in here and they stepped in here, they want to protect their positions. If they have cashed enough money over here and they've cashed enough money over here and over here, then of course we can get to some lows. We at least can expect for price to take this if it needs more liquidity, and otherwise it can still take out this low, but for the market to go towards this again, it's not that likely. So yes, internally we broke some structure towards the downside. Is it that relevant? No. Can we go lower? Yes. Do we expect it? We'll have to wait. If price is gonna break below this low again, leave open the high, then of course you can look towards this point and maybe even this point, and then from there we can maybe look towards upside again. So I want to see some local internal bearish price action to trade towards these lows. If we're at these lows, of course I'm gonna look at longs. If the price wants to go to here, I'm then gonna look at longs. If price once again for whatever reason wants to dump down again, we'll just see then. We can predict everything. The only thing we can do is react to what the market gives us. Right now, since London started, it has been pumping up, taking out highs, leaving open lows, so that is up until proven otherwise, and that will be the plan from my end for today. I hope you learned something from what I explained here, and I hope you study it, and I hope we can get better at this game together. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel, like this video, also leave behind a comment on what other videos you would like to see from me, maybe an in-depth video about how I look at the market or other things, explaining the basic stuff for the people that don't really know too much about this market yet. Let me know, and then this will be it for today, and I will see you in the next one. Ciao!